Participants, welcome. Welcome to another session. Actually, today is the last class related with week one. From tomorrow onwards, we will start week four. Today, I want to discuss about the various mandatory assumptions or conditions regarding multiple regression. As we know, multiple regression is one of the important parametric tests. Another advanced parameter test is structural modeling. That means multiple regression is very, very important and significant. Uh, uh, Hence, you have to understand about what are the various mandatory conditions or assumptions related with the multiple regression. I may share my SPSS screen to you. Share. Uh, this is my SPSS screen to you. As we know, in case of multiple regression, there should be one dependent variable. That is the first condition, one dependent variable. Here you can see the dependent variable is post. Post means post cholesterol intervention. Post cholesterol intervention is the dependent variable. The dependent variable should be measured with the help of either interval scale or ratio scale. In SPSS, both interval scale and ratio scale are known as scale. That is the first condition, one dependent variable. Then second condition, uh, in the case of independent variable number, at least two independent variable. That is second condition. Those independent variables should be measured uh, using either the categorical scale or continuous scale. That means your independent variable, you can measure the independent variable using any scale. That is the meaning. That means you can use ordinary, you cannot use nominal scale, but you can use ordinal scale, interval scale, ratio scale. In the case of the uh, independent variable, there is no restriction about the continuous variable, but dependent variable should be a continuous variable. But in the case of independent variable, the variable may be either categorical variable or continuous variable. Okay, here you can see three independent variable. Age is an independent variable. Here it is measured using scale. That means ratio scale. You can see another independent variable, that is pre-cholesterol intervention. That is another independent variable that is measured using scale. You can see a group, another variable group. It is exponential group. It is an independent variable. Group means three type of exercise. One is no exercise. Two is low intensity exercise. Then three is the high intensity exercise. That is another independent variable. That variable is a categorical variable. That means here one dependent variable, that is post cholesterol intervention. Three independent variable. One is age. Second is pre cholesterol intervention. That means cholesterol intervention before the exercise. And then group means three type of exercise. Here it is applied as a categorical variable. Three type of exercise. One is no exercise. Second is low intensity exercise. Then third is high intensity exercise. Then third condition, independence of observations. How can you check independence of observation? Please use Durbin-Watson statistic. We cannot discuss, we need not discuss about the Durbin-Watson statistic again. We already discussed about the Durbin-Watson statistic in the class related with the simple linear regression. Okay, please see the video. Then fourth condition, linear relationship between, that is the fourth condition, linear relationship between the dependent variable and each of your independent variable, and the dependent variable and the independent variables collectivity. Linear relationship between the dependent variable and independent variable. That is the fourth condition. Okay. That is the fourth condition. How can you check the linear relationship? That is the fourth condition. You can use the SPS software. Please wait. Please wait. We may check the linear relationship between the dependent variable and the independent variable. And the researcher can use partial plots. In SPSS, there's partial plots. The researcher can use the partial plots. The next condition, data needs to show homozygosity. We need not discuss about the condition once again. We already discussed about the condition in the session related with the simple linear regression. I think then we need not discuss about it again. Okay. Next condition, data must not show multicollinearity. How can you check? Please check tolerance and VIF. That means various influential factor. Wait, we may check it. That is the sixth condition. Seventh condition, there should be no significant outliers, high leverage points, and higher influential points. 3 points. Three. Please listen. There should be no significant outliers, high leverage points, and highly influential points. 3 points. You should note it. Okay. There should be no significant outliers, no high leverage points, no highly influential points. 3 points. Please wait. Check. The last condition, the residuals are approximately, only approximately. The residuals are approximately normally distributed. Okay, those are the conditions related with multiple regression. Then we can check the condition using SPSS software. Okay. Then first analyze, then regression, then linear, then I already given dependent variable and independent variable. Here you can see the dependent variable and the independent variable. Then please statistics. Okay, you need not do yes. In statistics, you can see collinearity diagnostics for the condition related with the collinearity. Please check in collinearity. Okay, continue. Then plots. You have to in plots. Yeah, plots. You have to tick partial plots for linearity assumption. Normal probability plot. That is for the assumption related with the normal distribution. Tick on it. Then here you have to transfer y-axis. In y, z r e s i d, y in x, z p r s c d to x. Okay, I may say once again. Those transfers are needed for the assumption related with the normal distribution. Okay, please wait. In y-axis, z r e s i d value to transfer, you have to transfer to y. Then x z p r e d. Okay, continue. Then save. In save, you have to tick Cook's value, leverage values, then TF beta value. Those values measurements are needed for the condition number 7. There should be no significant outlier, no high leverage points, no highly influential points. That is the 7th condition. Then continue. Then options. No, okay. No specialty. Continue. Then okay. Then you should get the output. From the output, you have to interpret the various results related with those mandatory conditions. I may share the output menu to you. Stop share. Then output menu. Okay, those are the output table to you. In fast, you can see your interest. As far as collinearity statistics, there's a condition regarding with the collinearity. Please wait. I think that is the condition. 6th condition, your data must not show multicollinearity. Then please see the tolerance value and VIF value. Tolerance value. If a tolerance value is less than 0.1, possible multicollinearity. But here the tolerance values are greater than 0.1. First value 0.758, second 0.7 call one, third 0.971, then tolerance values are satisfied. Then VIF, variance inflation factor, that is VIF. Here, the standard norms, if VIF value should be less than 5, VIF value should be less than 5, then it is satisfactory. Okay, here you can see the VIF value. So first 1.320 less than 5, then 1.349, then 1.030, all are less than 5, then multicollinearity assumption satisfied. That condition, the data must not show multicollinearity. That condition is satisfied. Okay. What is meant by multicollinearity? Please check in Google. I understand what is meant by multicollinearity. Okay. Then another table. Okay. Those tables is related with the significant outlier. In normal parameter test, the only one point, no significant outlier, but here, no significant outlier, high leverage points and highly influential points. You can see as far as outliers is concerned, please type residual statistics table and understand the value of STUD dot residual value. That value here, minimum value minus 1.332, maximum value 2.073. Then to satisfy that condition, what is standard norm? Value should be within plus 3 and minus 3. That is the condition. That is standard norm. Here, yes, those values are within plus 3 and minus 3. That means no significant outlier. That condition is satisfied. That condition is satisfied. Then second, high leverage points. To understand, to measure high leverage points, please see the centered leverage value. Centered leverage value between 0.035 and 0.550. That is the value. Actually, it is an equation to find out a standard norm. That is 2 multiplied by k plus 1 all divided by n. 2, then within bracket k plus 1, then all divided by n. K means number of independent variable, n means number of respondents. Here k means 3 independent variable, n is 15, then 2 within bracket 3 plus 1 all divided by 15, that is 0.533. Your value is less than 0.533, maximum value here 0.550. If your value is less than 0.533, no high leverage points. Unfortunately, that satisfaction is not satisfied there. Then third one, influential points. That is the third one. There should not be no influential points. That is the mandatory condition. Here, influential points, as far as influential points is concerned, please look the Cook's distance values range here. Minimum 0.002, maximum 0.585. Then what is standard norm? If the Cook's distance values are less than 1, the values are less than 1, the condition is satisfied. If the values are greater than 1, those values are highly influential points. But here, the values, maximum value, Cook's distance value, that is 0.583, that value is less than 1. That means in our question output example, no extreme influential points. That is the interpretation. And then you can see, as far as the linearity assumption is concerned, you can see the graphs. There's 3 graphs. Okay. Wait. Okay. The first graph, partial regression plots. Dependent variable, post-intervention cholesterol, then independent variable group. Then another graph, dependent variable, post-intervention cholesterol, independent variable age. Then age, the next one. Here you can see the dependent variable post intervention cholesterol, independent variable pre-intervention cholesterol. In all graphs, you can see that the linearity assumption is satisfied. How can you interpret it? If there is any U-shape picture in your graph, yes, that's an important point. That is known as curve. If the points show any U-shaped figure, the linearity assumption is not satisfied. Unfortunately, in three graphs, the three graphs do not show any U-shaped picture. You cannot recognize any curve-like picture from those three graphs. That means linearity assumption is satisfied. Then only one assumption we have to check. That is a normal distribution assumption. The last condition, that is a normal distribution assumption. The residuals should be approximately normally distributed. That's the last condition. How can you check? Okay. Then please check the PP plots here. PP plots are available. Yes, these are PP plots here. You can see the PP plots. You can see the values. If the values, if the points that fall near the lane, then residuals are normally distributed. Here you can see all points are plotted. All points are plotted near the lane. That means residuals are normally distributed. Those are the 8 conditions related with the multiple regression. Now it is the last session related with week 1. Okay, thank you very much for a valuable cooperation. I should certainly publish assignment by today evening or tomorrow morning. Then you should get at least 5 working days to solve the assignment. Okay, thank you. I am your course coordinator and course instructor, Dr. Shivakumar A, FCMA, Assistant Professor of Commerce, Sri Nilakantha Government Sanskrit College, Pattambi, Palakkad State, Kerala. I am a fellow member of the Institute of Cost Accounts of India. Besides, I am an approved PhD guide of the Calicut University. Okay, thank you. Stop share.